back. Oh, hi, welcome back. Hi, welcome back. Today is Sunday, July 19th. It is the day before the reading rush starts, and I'm here very last minute to tell you that I'm participating in the reading rush. You probably already realized this because the TBR portion of this video is going to be paired with the day one vlog for the reading rush, but I'm also going to be daily vlogging for the entire week, which I'm really excited about. I haven't really been making videos. I haven't really had like a motivation or desire to make videos for the last month or so, but I have been feeling it. This past week I've been like ready to come back to booktube, and I thought what better way to jump feet first back into booktube than daily vlogging for the reading rush. So here I am doing that, and we'll see how it goes. I daily vlogged for the reading rush last year. It was the first time I ever daily vlogged, and I had a lot of fun doing it, so I figure let's do it again. Let's just commit 100% to this readathon. As always, there are 7 reading challenges to kind of model your TBR around. Of course, these are not mandatory. You can read books that fit all of these challenges. You can read books that fit none of these challenges. It's not like, you know, obviously a requirement, but I personally am going to try to complete all the challenges. I picked a book for every single challenge, but I know that I probably won't be able to read 7 books in 7 days. So I picked some books that kind of fit for other challenges as well. So if I read some of these books, then I can still hit most of the challenges. But maybe, fingers crossed, I could actually read all of them. So I'm gonna be reading these challenges out of my bullet journal. And the first challenge is to read a book with a cover matching your birthstone. My birthday is in March, so my birthstone is an aquamarine. It's a very light, almost clear blue, and I don't really particularly like it all that much. And it's also a really hard book to match to a book on my shelves because I don't really have a ton of light blue books that are almost white. But I did remember that I just recently checked out the ebook of Edenbrooke by Gillian Donaldson. This is a historical romance book that I don't really know a ton about, but I do know that it has gotten a lot of popularity on booktube recently. I've seen quite a few people reading and really enjoying it, and so that's why I checked it out, and I still have the loan for the next week, so I figured I'm gonna just throw it on the reading rush TBR. The girl on the front cover is wearing a light blue dress, so that matches my birthstone almost, and I'm excited to read it, even though I don't really know very much about it. So the next challenge is to read a book that starts with the word the. I actually had quite a few options for this challenge, and actually several of the books on my TBR start with the word the, so I will definitely get this challenge fulfilled if I read at least some of the books on my TBR, but the one that I specifically chose for this challenge is The Last True Poets of the Sea by Julia Drake. This is the book I'm currently reading, so I definitely wanted to throw it on my reading rush TBR because I was not able to finish it before the readathon started. This is also on my 2020 TBR, so I really want to prioritize getting to this one sooner rather than later because I am 1 book behind on my 2020 TBR and I want to catch up this month. So I'm going to try to read The Last True Poets of the Sea, or I mean I'm reading it already, so I'm just going to try to finish it. This is a hard-hitting YA contemporary about a girl named Violet who is sent to live with her uncle for the summer after her brother tries to commit suicide. Their parents put him in a treatment facility and she gets sent to live with her uncle, and while she's there she meets a new group of friends, one of which is really interested in the founding of this town, which is also connected to Violet's family. And so she and this girl go on a little adventure trying to uncover some secrets about how this town was founded, and I believe they might fall in love along the way, which I am here for. So I'm really excited about continuing on with this one, and I hope I continue to love it as much as I have been so far. I'm on page 69, so I'm not even really that far in, but still excited to continue on and finish it, hopefully fairly quickly in the week. The next challenge is to read a book that inspired a movie or TV adaptation that you've already seen. I had no idea what I was going to pick for this one because I feel like I do a pretty good job of reading the books before I see adaptations, but then I remembered that I watched a show earlier this year that I absolutely loved and hadn't read the book yet, and then I went and bought the book and I still haven't read the book, and that is of course The Last Wish by Andrei Sapkowski. This is the short story collection that inspired the first season of The Witcher, which was on Netflix earlier this year, that I loved so much. I made a whole video earlier this year about how much I love The Witcher and how much I recommend you go watch The Witcher, and so it's finally time to read The Last Wish. This is actually a collection of short stories. I believe there are 5 stories in here, so it will be perfect to read for the readathon because I can just read 1 or 2 stories every night until I finish it, and I'm really excited about this. I love The Witcher so much, as you probably already know, and I can't wait to actually read the source material. The next challenge is to read the first book that you touch. This, I feel like, can be interpreted so many different ways. Some people I know are just going to their bookshelves and touching a book and reading the book that they touch. I saw on Twitter today that some people are like laying a selection of books out and letting their pets touch a book, and they're reading that for the first book that got touched. And then some people just are selecting, you know, a stack of books and then running their hands along the stack and randomly touching one and picking it. And that's the approach I'm going to take, but in a slightly cheating way, because here's my stack of books and here's the first book I touch. I really want to read The Vanishing Half by Brit Bennett, and there was no other way for me to fit it into my TBR with all the other books that I had added and where I kind of put them. I know it's cheating, but I can interpret this challenge however I want, and this is how I'm interpreting it. This just came out in June and it's been getting so much buzz. It's one of my most anticipated reads after hearing so many people just rave and rave about how good it is. I am so excited to get to this. I know that it's about two sisters. They're Black, they're from the South, and I believe that they are kind of white passing, and as they grow up, one of the sisters marries a Black man and she stays in their Southern town and lives, you know, as a Black woman, and the other one marries a white man and basically passes as white for her whole life. So many people have just been raving about how good this book is. I'm so excited to read it, and so I had to just fit it on my TBR somehow. I've also heard it's a really quick read, so I think it'll be perfect for the readathon. I loved Brit Bennett's previous book, and so I know that I will enjoy this one as well. The next challenge is to read a book completely outside your house. Again, this one can be interpreted however you want. I'm going to be reading If I'm Being Honest by Emily Wibberley and Austin Siegman Broca, and the way I'm interpreting the completely outside your house is that this is the book that I will be listening to as an audiobook on my commutes to and from work, and probably some while I'm at work as well. So I will be completely outside of my house while I'm reading this book. This is another book from my 2020 TBR. Like I said earlier, I'm trying to catch up in July, so I'm excited to have another one on my Reading Rush TBR. This is a YA contemporary that I actually don't really know very much about. I did my 2020 TBR, as you may know, based on other people's favorites of 2019, and this book I picked because of Jane from It's Jane Lindsay, whose reading tastes almost always like perfectly align with mine. I feel like we almost always have the same opinions about books, and so if she gave this book 5 stars and raved about it, then I don't really need to even know what it's about to know that I'm probably going to enjoy it. I've also never read a book by this author duo, so I'm really excited to finally be reading one. Hopefully it's great. The next challenge is to read a book in a genre that you want to read more from. I didn't really know what I was going to pick for this one because I feel like I do a pretty good job of reading widely, but one like kind of subgenre that I don't read a ton of is historical romance. You might have already noticed that I have Edenbrooke, which is also a historical romance, on my TBR, and for this one I chose another historical romance, and that is The Duchess Steele by Tessa Dare. I don't really know what this book is about either, but I know that Tessa Dare is a very well loved historical romance author, and so I don't really feel like I need to know much about it to know that I'm probably gonna like it if other people have raved as much as they have about this author and this book. Also, I may come out of this week being like just a huge historical romance fan and just want to read all the historical romance. And the final challenge is to read a book that takes place on a different continent from where you live. For this one, I'm going to be reading Before the Coffee Gets Cold by Toshikazu Kawaguchi. This one takes place in Japan, so it's in Asia, and I'm really excited about this one. This is another one that has been getting so much praise, so much hype on BookTube in the last like year or so. This is about a coffee shop where people can time travel. If they've been to the coffee shop before, or they are going to see someone, I believe, that's been to the coffee shop before, they can time travel to that time in history. The only stipulation is that they have to be back in the present at their table before their coffee gets cold. And I think it's actually kind of like a little series of vignettes about several different people who come to this coffee shop and their experience there. I'm really excited about this one. It's probably one of the ones, besides maybe The Vanishing Half, it's one of the ones that I'm most excited about reading this week. So I can't wait. This is also pretty short. It was the perfect pick for the readathon, and I hope I love it as much as everybody else seems to. So that is my TBR for the Reading Rush. Obviously, it is getting ready to start, and I'm really excited about participating this week. I will be vlogging tomorrow, Monday, during the day, and this part of the video will just be tacked on to my vlog, so there's still a whole vlog to watch after this, but I did want to go ahead and share my TBR just because I'm excited about it, and also I'm probably not going to be vlogging until I get home from work tomorrow, so I wanted to go ahead and share my TBR tonight so that I didn't have to spend any time tomorrow night talking about the books I'm going to be reading, so that I can just read when I get home from work and I can vlog. Hopefully my day one goes well. Fingers crossed for future me, and fingers crossed for future all of you. Hopefully the week is off to a great start for you. Obviously it's so low pressure. Like, you can read one chapter of one book and you've won the readathon. So just have fun with it and don't put too much pressure on yourself, and hopefully it'll be a great week. I need to take my own advice. I need to have fun with it and not to put too much pressure on myself to read all 7 of these books, because we all know that's probably not going to happen. So good luck, and see ya in a few hours. Me, and just a few seconds for you, obviously. Hello, and welcome to day 1 of the reading rush, the official start of the readathon. It's actually pretty late in the evening. It's about 7:30. I got home from work like about an hour ago. I had to go to the store after work, and I'm just getting ready to cook dinner. I just had to do the dishes, so I'm just getting ready to cook dinner, and then I'm gonna be able to actually read for the evening, but I gotta do all this first. So I thought while I'm like kind of prepping dinner, I would talk to you about my day. I'm making enchiladas for dinner. I was texting Cole earlier, and I was like, what do you want to have for dinner tonight? He was like, I don't care, whatever you want to have. And then I was like, enchiladas sound really good. I was really craving them, so that's what I'm making. So anyway, like I said, it's about 7:30. I got home an hour ago, and I have done some reading today. I was able to read a little bit at work. Our receptionist had to leave early, so I had to cover the front desk, so I was able to read while I was doing that. Also, this part of my kitchen is a disaster because I don't have a lot of storage. Okay, so while I was at work today, I managed to get a good chunk of The Last True Poets of the Sea read. I mentioned in my TBR portion of this video that I was already reading this. I was on page 69, and now I'm up to page 174. So I've read like 105 pages today, which is great, and I'm really liking this a lot. I'm gonna talk a little bit more about it maybe in a little while, but this is a YA contemporary. It's set on the coast of Maine, and it is definitely not like a fluffy light read. It's more hard-hitting. It is actually a pretty heavy read. It tackles a lot of hard stuff. It's actually not the easiest read, and probably not the best read for a readathon, to be honest. I mean, it's great, I'm loving it, but it is definitely it's definitely heavier than your average YA contemporary. And then also I decided to go ahead and get a start on The Last Wish by Andrzej Sapkowski, is how I learned it's pronounced. This is the first book in the Witcher series. I'm using this for the challenge to read a book that is inspired by a movie or TV show that you've already seen. This is a series of short stories, and so my plan was to read one of these every day, and so I wanted to go ahead and get today's out of the way. And I saw that my library actually had the audiobook of this, so I got it and I listened to the first story. And to be honest, I'm not a big fan of the audiobook. The narrator does weird voices for some of the characters. Because I've already seen the show, I already have like what they should sound like in my mind, and the audiobook narrator voices them all completely differently, so not a fan of that. So I don't know if I'm going to continue on with the audiobook, maybe like in a bind. But I did read the first story, which is called The Witcher, which is like the introduction to Geralt and what witchers are, and I mean, I liked it. It's really interesting reading this knowing the show already, like knowing how the show goes, because obviously like the thing about the show that keeps people, or at least kept me interested and like kept me wanting to watch more, was the timeline. How it was kind of weird. Like it took a few episodes to really like kind of grasp the timeline, and I think that the book is probably going to do that a little bit differently. Obviously, like the show had to do it in a way that would keep people coming back for more, and the book doesn't necessarily have that same, like, I guess, restriction on it. It can, obviously the book came first and it did things differently, so I'm interested to see how it plays out. Like the first story in this is a story that is like a middle episode of the show, so it was just interesting. Anyway, so I read 45 pages of that. So I read a total of 150 pages today, which isn't too bad. I'm pretty pleased with my reading so far, and I'm definitely not done reading for the day. I'm gonna try to read another chunk, maybe like another 100-ish pages of The Last True Poets of the Sea before I go to bed tonight. My plan is to vlog up until about 9:30-ish every night, and then edit the vlog together and post it, you know, get it ready to upload, and then go to bed and try to be in bed by, I'm gonna try to be in bed by 10:30 every night. And whatever I read after like I'm done vlogging, I'll just count towards the next day's page count total, I guess, because that makes the most sense to me. I should probably listen to an audiobook or something while I'm cooking, but I like to watch Netflix while I'm cooking. I usually put on like Criminal Minds or something that I don't really have to pay attention to it while I'm cooking, and I just kind of get like story in the background. So probably do that. and then I'll just read in a little while after I eat. Anyway, that is the intro to this vlog, this like 9-minute intro to my vlog. I'm gonna go cook and I will catch up with you guys in a bit. Oh yeah, does that not look delicious? I'm so excited. I'm so hungry. Cannot wait to eat it. Gotta put it in the oven for like 20-ish minutes and then I'll be able to chow down. And it's done. It looks so good. I'm so excited to eat it. And I also decided to make brownies. So that'll be a nice little dessert. Now I'm gonna eat, I'm gonna read, I'm gonna eat some more, and then I'm gonna go to bed. It's already 8:30, so I don't have much longer of the night left to do much. Grammar was not good in that sentence. I don't have much of the night left to do stuff, but I'm gonna try to get a few things accomplished before I end up going to bed, so wish me luck. Okay, so it is about 10 o'clock now. I'm getting ready to go to bed, so I'm gonna wrap this vlog up really quick. I didn't really have as much time to vlog this evening as I would have hoped. Obviously, I had to go to Walmart after work, so I took up some time and then came home, did the dishes, cooked dinner, so just didn't really have a lot of time to like actually vlog me doing anything. So this is probably pretty boring, but I guess my TBR added on to the beginning of it is a good supplement for today's vlog. While I was waiting on Cole to eat dinner though, I did manage to read up to page 186, so I think that brings my page count total for the day like to 117 or something like that for this book. And then obviously the 45 pages I read of The Last Wish, which I'll do the math and tell you that I read 150, 60, 162 pages, I think is the correct amount. So yeah, I mean, not the best start to the reading rush, obviously, but not bad. I'm not mad about it, and I really think that I can knock the rest of this book out tomorrow. I'm gonna go lay in bed for a little bit and read a little bit more of this, and so finish that off, maybe hopefully tomorrow, we'll see. And then I'll read the next story in The Last Wish at some point tomorrow as well, and then we'll get to pick a new book. I do want to talk more about this at some point, but I think I'm gonna wait till I get like further into it, or maybe until I finish it, because I feel like talking about it now and giving kind of a half review would be doing the book a disservice, considering there's just so much to unpack that I could probably make a whole video about this book, especially, or at least, you know, what I'm feeling about it so far. So I'm gonna hold off on talking about this one in any detail, but I will tell you that I'm really enjoying it. I like the writing style, I'm interested in the characters, and the story is definitely keeping me engaged, even though it's not the like happiest story. It's definitely heavier, but I'm definitely enjoying the reading experience. So I'm gonna continue on with that one, and hopefully tomorrow will be a much better day and we'll actually finish a couple books, because obviously, like, if I'm gonna read 7 books in 7 days, I need to finish books. So fingers crossed that I can actually finish a book tomorrow. That was my day 1 of the reading rush. Not the best start to the readathon, obviously, but hopefully as the week goes on, things will get better. I feel like I always start out readathon saying that. I feel like I always say that in vlogs. It's not the best start, but hopefully it'll get better. But really, truly, I hope it gets better. I hope your reading rush is off to a good start, and if you're not participating in the reading rush, I hope that your week is off to a good start, because we all deserve to have a good week, and let's hope that it turns into one. I mean, so far so good, but it's day 1, so it could go anywhere from here. Let me know down in the comments how your day 1 is going. Have you already finished a book? I'd really love to know. And if you haven't yet, what are you currently reading, or what are you hoping to pick up tomorrow? I'd really love to know that as well. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you again tomorrow.